Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Roaming with Bennie. Right now we're staying at Merimbula at Tween Waters. Beautiful little coastal town on the south coast of New South Wales. Today we've decided to come into Eden, which is a little bit further south from Merimbula. It's a 20-minute drive. There's a lot of rain coming, so we thought we'd make the most of it while we could. They've got some beautiful little tracks along the headland here. You can see the ocean over to the right. Lovely, well-maintained tracks in a beautiful wooded forest, if you like. I felt like I was Alice in Wonderland. Bennie loved it too. Very beautiful part of the world. Lovely coastline. These views would normally be more spectacular with blue oceans, but because there's a lot of cloud cover, there's a lot of rain coming apparently, there's a lot of flooding up north, so we're about to cop it shortly. But if the cloud cover wasn't there, this would be nice and blue for you. And a few still images that Mark has taken while Bennie and I were meandering along. I love the twiggy forest, it's gorgeous. Eden is actually really famous for its whaling industry. In the height of the industry, 30 boats operated out of Eden. It was a friendship that was between man and killer whales, which began with the Aboriginals. When the Europeans arrived, Aboriginals were regarded as excellent workers and were employed in the industry for their prowess with the harpoons. So that's just a little bit of history on Eden for you. There's a lot more to it if you Google it and look into it. Right now we're just walking around the Tourist Information Centre and the harbour. Eden also has one of the deepest marinas in Australia, I believe. That's what I've been told. So that would have been choppers with whaling boats once upon a time. And here is the Tourist Information Centre. How unique and beautiful is it? I could build a house like this. I just love it. All those big solid rafters you can see are timbers out of the old wharf that was here. So yeah, what a spectacular building. It really got my attention. I absolutely loved it. And the rains came now. This is just the beach here at Eden, and it started to rain on us. And here's Bennie at the end of our big walking day around Eden, and he's absolutely exhausted on Dad's knee. Following day, the rains came, and they stayed for the duration of our stay. Here it is, bucketing down. Poor Bennie, he was so sad. All he wanted to do was go out and play, but he couldn't. Rain, rain and more rain. Unfortunately, it's the whole east coast. And here he is, we had to play with his toys instead. So this is where we've travelled from way up in North Queensland, Airlie Beach, and come right down to Victoria. And we're soon to head South Australia and Western Australia. Here's some of Mark's unique and wonderful cooking. Well, not so unique, but wonderful pork belly. Yeah, we're not missing out food-wise, eating well here. And always washing it down with a few yummy cocktails as well. Why wouldn't you?
What's wrong? You want the chocolate? No, you're not allowed to have chocolate, Bennie. Puppies aren't allowed chocolate. Bennie.
And we have now arrived in Victoria. Woohoo! And we are staying at Mallacoota, which is a beautiful pet-friendly treed park right on the water's edge.
Hey, Bennie! Good girl! Oh, Mummy's going. Up in bed, Bennie. See, Bennie. The moment's born, Bella. Bella. Bennie. So many noodles. Bennie, look at you. You want to be on TV? Hey, Bella. Hey, little messy Peter. Hey, little fella. He's just so cute. Do you want to creep in? Bennie can have a creep.
Yeah, Bennie would like it.
Hey, little guy.
Put him somewhere.
And then we went to the outskirts of town and found the golf club, which, of course, there were a heap of kangaroos. Don't they always linger around the golf clubs, golf courses? They didn't want to come closer and say hi, but it was nice to see them, especially after all the fires that have been in this area. So it's good to see that there are still some native animals, some wildlife getting about. Good to see.
How close are these birds going to come?
Hey.
How close are they going to come? What are they, Bennie? Hopefully they don't look at you as much, hey?
I reckon we could balance Bennie on the back of one of these dolphins and make a good photo.
Yeah, let's not try that. We've now had some dear old friends join us that live at Pambula, just the next suburb along. So they've come to have a little camp with us and catch up with us. I've known these guys for 30 odd years, so it's really good to have this catch up. You can hear my friend Rob in the background saying we should put Bennie on one of the backs of the birds, one of the pelicans, and watch him go for a ride. Yeah, I don't think that'll work. Yeah, unfortunately the water's very brown here after all the rain. They didn't flood too much here, but yeah, there's a lot of muddy waters rushing in from the creeks and rivers. Mark and I did get out for a fish. Nothing too exciting to see here, but Mark did catch a big flathead, which we shared with our friends for dinner. There's Ben out enjoying a fish. Woohoo! Hi, Benny! The caravan park is a very treed park, very beautiful, but this tree in particular I fell in love with. Isn't it gorgeous? And this one has a koala up there. Can you see him up there? So here we are at Mallacoota, the New South Wales... Oh no, we're in Victoria now, sorry. This is that pretty little town that was devastated by fires in 2020. And here's a little example of how close they came to the water. These trees are burned. Such devastation as you're driving in. Beautiful, beautiful little town. Usually this water would be blue, but now they've had a lot of rain. So the whole east coast of Australia has, and Queensland. Been a lot of rain at the moment, a lot of flooding. But yeah, this would normally be nice and clear and blue. But right now it's very brown. It's still very, very pretty. And there is the caravan park straight across the bay there. There you can see. Gorgeous location. And we're about to just take ourselves on this boardwalk. Which stretches for kilometres, so stay tuned and we'll take you along. Come and check out this fishing table. These are some of the great little fishing platforms all along this boardwalk. Plenty for everyone. Fish cleaning stations. It's awesome. And of course this would be magic if the water was blue, instead of being affected by all this rain and flooding. Still beautiful though. Benny. Benny.
Bennie.
Oh, Benny. Hello, darling.
Bennie.
There's Bella.
Benson, isn't it? You said his name?
There we go.
Wow.
There's your friend Benny. There's Bella.
Hi, Bennie. Hello.
What's your one's name again? I forgot.
Aren't you?
Abby.
What's your one's name? Maggie.
That's one we should have
Bella.
got. So we could
Oh,
just
we
put
have an
it. I
idea.
could have put it in my pouch.
You're taking so much room in the caravan at night. It's
Hello,
just
Bella.
Still kidnapped.
get up in the night and step over it.
Yeah, so no real flooding to the area. This is as bad as it got. Still not great. You've got to wade out to the to some of the jetties, but not too bad in comparison to what other areas have had to deal with. And just a few still images for you to enjoy of the area. Even though it's a little underwater, I found it great for photography. Still looks beautiful. Look at the twisted jetty there. I don't think that'd hold many people up, but made for good photography. And the pelicans put on a bit of a show for me too. They posed perfectly. They weren't worried about me being there. They stayed put and enjoyed the sunshine, and yeah, gave me some great photography.
hello.
And these pathways and boardwalks and the jetties, they stretch for kilometres all around the water's edge here. Really good walks, really good exercise, bike tracks. Hey, Mr. Pelican. I just missed his landing.
You're going to come and say hi, Mr. Pelican?
Now we're back at the caravan park at Mallacoota, where this feathered friend came to greet me, and I sat down and caught up with my dear friend Libby from many years ago, and we caught up on old times. Come home empty-handed. We want lots of flathead and a heap of squid, please. Have fun.
Yeah. Good start, boys. Straight to YouTube. Baby.
And off the boys go, off to catch some fish for dinner. And they didn't disappoint. We had flathead for dinner. Thanks, boys. We had another little visitor later too. This little possum came down from his tree to say hello. Hey, dude. The following day we went with our friends Liv and Rob out to Quarry Beach. Rob led the expedition and he assured me that the rock structures here and the colourings and just the rock formations were quite unique, and he was correct. Look at this, it looks like they've been chiselled out by hand. It's amazing that the ocean would do that, but check this out. Look at the colours, it looks like art. It actually looks like Aboriginal art. Look at the different colours. It's really beautiful, more beautiful in person, in real life, to actually see with your own eyes. Stretches right along this coast here. Look at the jaggedness in the rocks. Looks like little steps. It's like it's all being chiselled out, but just by the ocean.
Nice handbag.
Ha! There's Mark with my handbag. Looking good. A little Bennie boy. Isn't it amazing? I mean, it looks like they've been made by hand, that they've been layered on top of each other, layer upon layer upon layer. And it's natural and it's beautiful. The different colours, the different textures. Just amazing. It's really beautiful. And a bit of still imagery for you to enjoy. Just to get a little bit of up close and personal, for you to see the actual textures and colours and the different structures of all the different rocks. It's just stunning. just finishing with a walk on the beach with our fur babies. We have our Bennie, and Liv and Rob have their whippet, Jasmine, and their toy poodle, Lewis. Such well-behaved, good friends of Benny's. They all had a great time. And a bit of still imagery, like I do, just photographing bits and pieces along the seaside. And as you look around the bush setting, hugging the coastline, you can see where it's recovering from all the bushfires. Such devastation right down to the shoreline. You might remember at the time of the fires that the locals were all coming down to the beach to jump in the water to get away from the fires. It's good to see that it's all coming back. Now this is Mark and I and Bennie. The next day we headed down to a place called Secret Beach, which is just another 5 minutes along the road. This structure has been rebuilt after the fires, and it's just a small, short track, pretty well maintained track, down to the beach, where we came across some awesome caves. So here we are at Secret Beach. It's probably 10 minutes south of Mallacoota. And you can only access this cave on very low tide. What a beautiful spot. Very windy today, but it's gorgeous. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh guys, this is magic. Watch your head. That is awesome. Now, Mark has made his way through the cave, waded through the water there a bit, and to come out the other side, if you go through the cave, wade through the water, you come out on the northern side of the caves. To this secluded little beach. This side has a smaller opening, and you would not be able to wade through there on high tide. Watch your head, Lucas. and a few still photos for your enjoyment. Still here at Secret Beach. Look at these rock formations. It is so beautiful. Incredible. Wow. What do you think, Bennie? Pretty cool? Is this pretty cool? Look at these rocks. And as you can see, all the burnt out bush from the bushfires of 2020. Recovering, but still a lot of devastation for what happened here. I'm amazed by the beauty of this beautiful place. Yeah, I have a new favourite now, in case you haven't guessed. Secret Beach, my new favourite beach. I think that's going to happen everywhere I go. New favourite. So many nice places to see. Here's another little cave. It's a Bennie-sized cave. Come on, Bennie, I found you a cave. It's a Bennie cave. Yay! In the cave, Bennie. There's a cave for you.
Oh, it's a little kennel cave. Can you go?
Kennel cave.
No. Why not?
Oh, look at this. And then back through the bush track, back to the car. It's not a bad track at all, and it takes about 5 minutes. And Bennie's quote of the day, collect moments, not things. Great advice, Bennie. Thank you for that. And I'm just going to leave you with a bit of photography from Mallacoota Caravan Park. What I did love about staying here is that you could have your own boat mooring right out here on the front. And look at this spectacular sunrise. Ample opportunities here for wonderful photography moments. I'll leave you with it. Enjoy. And that's another wrap from us, guys. Thank you for joining us. And don't forget, if you like the videos, give it a like and subscribe.